Let's go. Produce it, oh, process it, oh, distribute, oh. I go make the dough just to feed my own. I go do it, oh.
Hello there and welcome once again to Ghana Grows Edwuma. Today we are meeting a young man who is making strides in the agri-tech space. Very soon you'll meet him and you'll see the innovations that he's making. But as you know, Ghana Grows Edwuma is brought to you by Mastercard Foundation in partnership with the Springboard Road Show Foundation. I'm Marba Kumson. Join me as we explore Sesi Technologies.
Let's go. Produce it, oh, process it, oh, distribute, oh. I go make the dough just to
Hello again. As I indicated, we're going to be meeting somebody who is combining agriculture and technology and is making strides in those fields. I'm talking about Isaac Sesi, and he's CEO of Sesi Technologies. Hello and welcome to Ghana Grows Edwuma.
Hi, thank you.
So, I mean, you are a young person who is combining agric and technology, which we know is what is needed now if we need, higher crop yields and all of that. How did you get into agric in the first place? Take us through your journey to agric.
Yeah, thank you very much. So my background is in electrical engineering.
Oh, wow.
Yes, so my undergrad is in electrical and electronic engineering.
Okay.
And I've always loved agriculture. So I knew I wanted to do something in technology, but I was not sure what the application was going to be.
Okay.
So in my final year in KNUST, I had the opportunity to work as a research engineer at the Department of Agricultural and Biosystems Engineering at KNUST.
Okay.
So around that time, they were looking for someone with a background in like electronics to come and lead projects to develop this simple technology that could help measure the moisture content in grains. And so because I was good in electronics, they invited me to join the research team. And I led the research. We came up with a grain moisture meter. And after that was done, in Ghana, usually research is you're done and then the research just lies on the shelf. But we're like, look, we spent a whole year developing this technology. We're not going to let it lie on the shelf. So
Let's put it into practice.
Yes.
We'll delve deeper into grain mate and all of that. But you said that you loved agriculture. Did you have any relationship with agriculture growing up, or you just saw farmers, or it just excites you seeing people farming?
Yeah, so my dad is a cocoa farmer. Okay. My mom is also a farmer, and even in the house we had like backyard gardens. Okay. And I am also a farmer. I own a cassava farm. Okay. And so in my family is a farming family. Okay. So I had always been close to raising plants. That's where it comes from. Yes.
So now you go to school. Why didn't you study agric? Why did you opt for, is it chemical engineering?
Electrical engineering.
Electrical engineering.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I love technology also. So I think that technology is one of the things where even though you have that core technology knowledge, you can apply it in different areas. So for me, it was about learning the technology or learning the technology skills, engineering skills, and then finding an impactful place or field to apply it in. So agriculture was where I apply, or is where I currently apply my skills in technology and engineering.
That's quite interesting. Let's now delve into the journey, the start of Sesi Technologies. What made you start Sesi Technologies?
Yeah, so as I was initially saying, I did this research with the Department of Agricultural and Biosystems Engineering in KNUST. And I was ready to get back to my life because before joining the research, I was doing national service. I was running a couple of businesses on the side. Okay. Yeah, but then it just felt like I really enjoyed working on that project. It felt the difference between what I had worked on at the time and the things I was doing was that this felt impactful. We're using technology to solve problems in agriculture in a way that benefited marginalized communities like smallholder farmers, right? So having done all of that work, I was convinced that there was there was a future with this. We could figure it out, we could commercialize it. There is no point in developing the technology if you cannot put it in the hands of the people who need it.
True.
And so I founded Sesi Technologies shortly after completing my research engineering phase with the department.
Okay. When was this?
That was in 2018.
2018?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, I see. So how has it been? How has it impacted communities? Because I know that it is you're combining agriculture with technology in order to get higher yields or better yields. So how is that impacting the community?
Yeah, so currently we have more than 5,000 smallholder farmers, agribusinesses, feed producers that are using grain mates in different ways.
Okay.
So for a smallholder farmer in the village who is going to dry and store and package for sale, they use the grain mates to measure whether the moisture content is ready. It's okay enough for them to bag, otherwise it's going to start growing moldy, and they are not going to get any market for their produce. Or someone coming to buy will say, your grains are wet, so I'll pay you a little. Aside, that is even not as bad as them having to open the bags a month later and see that everything is just consumed by weevils. And so for these smallholder farmers, just being able to have the peace of mind knowing that their grains are safe anytime they want to sell, weevils are not consuming it, just gives them so much peace of mind.
That's interesting, because I thought that this device would be quite expensive. So you were targeting like the large commercial farmers, but you say that the smallholder farmers to benefit from it.
Yeah.
So what's been the reaction of the farmers who use the grain mate?
Yeah. So the farmers, they appreciate, for smallholder farmers, sometimes they are a bit slow towards adopting technology, but then when you explain to them what the device does, you give it to them, they use it, they see the results, they appreciate it and they appreciate the value. Yeah, for other people in the segment, in the customer, other kinds of customers, they understand the value immediately. I have people who call and say, they call at 12 midnight and say, can I get a moisture meter in Doma at 7 a.m.? Right?
Wow.
So that is how much people appreciate the value.
Tell me, what challenges have you faced in, trying to do this?
The challenges, there are so many.
Let's start from the simplest one.
If you ask any business person or startup entrepreneur, what are your challenges? The first thing that's always going to come up is funding. Funding. Yes, and it's difficult. The financing mechanisms for innovation startups is very, very in its infancy. So banks will not start you with a 12-foot pole. Exactly. And because you need to expend a lot of money before you start making money, which means that you have to hustle and go look for ways to fund whatever you're doing. So there's a funding problem that is not solved yet. There's also just the adoption, because agriculture is still quite a conservative space where the adoption of new technology is not very rapid. And so you need to do a lot of work to let people understand and appreciate the value of this technology. And that comes with a lot of money and takes a lot of time to do, right? And then even after you've done that, there's always business model innovation that you have to figure out. So I have this technology, but what kind of business model do I use so that people are willing to pay for this? Those are all challenges that we face.
So as a young person who did electrical engineering, right? I'm sure there are lots of young people who also did electrical engineering, who did not consider, going into the agricultural space. But they see you now and they see a role model that they can follow. What would you say to people like that watching you right now, who think that probably, what you're doing does not fetch you a lot of income, and so it's not something that they should be, going into? What would you tell them?
Yeah, I am great. I'm thankful that even over the last 4 or 5 years that we've been operating, we have served as inspiration for other agri-tech companies that have come up. Many of the founders have reached out to me to say, look, we were inspired by the stuff you're doing, and so that caused us to also come into agri-tech, which is a success story and a win on its own. Yes. But then people have to have the mindset or shift from that mindset of agriculture being a livelihood to agriculture being a business, right? There are so many opportunities in the field of agriculture, regardless of what you studied in school, that you can take advantage of. And there are so many people in the field of agriculture who did not study agriculture. So I think that young people should see this as an avenue of untapped opportunity and potential, and consider this as viable business options or alternatives or endeavors, so that when they are thinking about things like real estate and all of that, they also put agriculture in the same category and realize that there's so much potential here.
All right, I see. I need to ask you this question because it's a very important question. So you're making strides in the agri-tech space. Did you envision the impact that you are seeing right now through the application of your products?
Not really, because starting Sesi Technologies was not something that I planned to do. It just was something that happened, right? I knew I wanted to be in technology, but I didn't know I was going to be in agri-tech. And so I'm glad that we're making strides. I'm glad that we're making progress, but I strongly believe that we're only scratching the surface of what is possible. And I'm actually excited for what the future holds.
Okay, the future holds a lot. So if someone had given you, say, $3 million, not CDs, $3 million, would you have taken that up and, you know, work with the person?
I'll take the money and I'll figure out how to put it in Sesi Technologies to make it work, right?
Smart answer.
Yeah.
That's something that Jay-Z would recommend you to do.
Yeah, he says to take the money. I'm definitely taking the money.
Definitely take the money. Thank you so much,
You're
Isaac.
welcome.
You're doing great in the agri-tech space, and I hope that all of you who are watching are interested in agri and technology will follow in his footsteps.
So there's the Zero Fly Hermetic Storage Bag by Sesi Technologies.
Right.
It comes in two layers. There's this outer layer and then the inner layer.
Right.
So this outer layer has an insecticide called deltametrin incorporated in there.
Right.
And it's the same insecticide that we have in the mosquito treated nets. Right? So any insects trying to penetrate from the outside, they get knocked down. If there were insects here, you see that they're all lying dead around the grains, right? So they cannot penetrate.
Yeah.
Now, but this is the inner layer, and because you have an inner layer, you know, the insecticide doesn't have any effect on the grains.
I see. How do you use the moisture meter?
Yeah, so this is the moisture meter.
Okay.
This is how it comes.
Okay.
You have, it's in two parts. You have the reader, and then you have the probe. So the probe has a sensor at the tip. That is what measures the moisture content. This USB, you insert it into the reader, and then now you put the probe inside the grain, the corn, right? Next, you select the type of commodity you are testing for, because we support quite a number of commodities. So currently it's on corn.
Corn.
You can move up.
Okay, millet, rice, sorghum, soya bean. Okay, interesting.
So we are back to corn.
Corn, yeah.
Once you get to the grain you are looking for, you press the test. You press the test button.
Okay.
And then it says testing. Please wait.
Please wait.
Yeah,
how long does it take?
About 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then after 2 minutes, it will display the moisture content in the grains.
Oh, wow.
And then you know what to do with it. So this was corn we just went to buy from the market. It was very infested.
Oh, I see.
Yes. And then we just put it here. Okay. And then all the insects have died.
Okay, I see. Oh, that's good. That's good. If there's one thing I've learned today from Isaac, is that you can make money from problems. He has made money by innovating through observing problems in the agric value chain. And you can do the same too. And that's how we end our show today. This has been Ghana Grows Edwuma, brought to you by Mastercard Foundation in partnership with the Springboard Road Show Foundation. Until next time, it's goodbye.